Hey there, everyone. Benji Ross here, and here's another report from a planetary network of bioregional learning centers where we are learning how to become people capable of caring for place from the local all the way up to the planetary. Seems pretty important right about now, don't you think? So, yesterday, we all got together in a bioregional update session where people shared what's happening in their places, what's developing, what are the inquiries that are arising that they could surface in that particular group, that only that group likely would have deep insights to be able to explore. It's always inspiring hearing from people, connecting with others who you have so much in common with, and just feeling the mutual support. Yesterday, we also had a bit of practice in the Design School Fund group where we came together as a few different projects that are looking for financial support in the near term to survey our shared strategic landscape to understand how we come together as a network, how we can bring more capacities to the network through our individual efforts. And then we surfaced our respective needs and explored how we can allocate the funding available. We're practicing becoming a very dynamic and responsive group. We are open to experimentation, and we're practicing with small amounts of money so that when larger amounts of money come, we've got some skills, we've got some processes developed, we've got some experience under our belt. Just to share a few of the details, the highlights from that, and the projects that were present. We heard from a landscape leader who's developing bioregional learning centers called sacred sanctuaries in India. One of the things that they're doing in these sacred sanctuaries is bringing folks from urban environments out to these sacred sanctuaries to connect deeply with landscapes and to experience regenerative projects. I feel a huge amount of potential coming from these particular landscape leaders and this concept. I can't wait to see how it evolves and all the lessons that they'll bring to the planetary network of bioregional learning centers. We also heard from the organizing team for the upcoming bioregional activation tour in Cascadia for 5 weeks starting in late September. Joe Penny and a bus full of regenerates will be traveling around Cascadia, which is much of the Pacific Northwest, stimulating bioregional conversations and bringing the story of this being a planetary effort. And these organizers have their hands full. They have been working full time and they're asking for some funding to keep them going. And then lastly, not lastly, but as an organizer for the Colorado River Basin Landscape Leader Retreat, I was also at that funding session, and I asked for some funding to be able to bring landscape leaders from the delta of the Colorado River Basin near Mexicali, Mexico, up to a town called Paonia in Colorado, in the headwaters, where we'll be exploring in a group of about 10 landscape leaders our shared Colorado River Basin-wide bioregional learning strategy. A big part of this is going to be forming a bioregional learning center in Paonia in the headwaters, and then also in Mexicali, Mexico, near the delta, forming a deep partnership between the two that can lead the way for the rest of the basin while holding the geography of the whole in some sense. And then, of course, there's Catalina, who I mentioned last time, who's in Barichara, Colombia. She was not at the funding session, but she's looking for $5,000 to work for 6 months full time as she integrates, as she weaves the land-based learning processes there. She's already working full time in faith that the network will find the funds for her. Here we are. So here's a quick glimpse of our network and our stated needs. The circles on the bottom have more immediate needs, while the circles above continue to develop and would always benefit from more support. So please join us by donating. If this feels like you, come participate, be a part of this story. We're agile, we're experimental, we're getting money to high impact regenerative projects within a coherent planetary strategy of bioregional learning. This is an all humanity on deck moment. Let's do this. Onward and much more to come.